Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us and participating in our Environment Committee meeting. It is Thursday, April 18th, 2024, 10:05 a.m. We are in room 2B. I don't know if I have my co-chair virtually, if he would like to say anything this morning. Hearing none. Pat?
I just didn't know how to hit the button. I'm here, Joe. Go ahead. Have fun.
Thank you. Representative Callahan?
Just briefly, thank you for so many of the members for being here in person. I know it was a tough day to drive. That's why I was a couple of minutes late. Sorry for being late.
Representative Palm?
I'm all set, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Do we have Senator Harding virtually? Okay, we're gonna move on. And my only remark is that we're thinking of getting a photo taken of the committee on May 2nd. So maybe put that in your calendars, the old school kind of photos that have us all sitting in a chair and making it look like we're having fun. And and we'll go from there. But I just didn't want to spring it on everybody when it was May 2nd, plus or minus 10 in the morning. We'll figure it out, but I wanted to get it on everyone's agenda there. Moving on to item Roman numeral 3. We have one bill to move out of hopefully committee today. It's House Bill 5484. So I will entertain a motion to approve House Bill 5484, which is file number 335, an act concerning tree and vegetation management guidelines by the Department of Transportation, referred to us from the Transportation Committee. Moved by Representative Palm, seconded by Representative Felipe. The bill specifies a new process which the guidelines on tree and vegetation management and removal and replacement along the highways must be approved by the department, by the Transportation Committee and the Environment Committee, and restricts the DOT's removal of trees and vegetation until that is approved. If you recall, we had a similar bill in our committee, Senate Bill 289, I believe, or 285. So it's along these lines. And as we discussed, many of our constituents, when they drive along our highways, 91, Wilbur Cross, Route 2, Route 8, Route 9, and this clear cutting happens, we hear it. And as I've said before, the deference of maintenance by the DOT for decades, in my opinion, doesn't merit the clear cutting. But anyway, those are my opinions. Anyone here in the room or virtually that would like to comment? Representative Callahan.
Just to clarify, Mr. Chairman, I don't want to hit you with something and then this isn't going to require DOT for each and every project to come back for approval. This is a blanket approval process that if I just don't want it. I read the testimony from DOT about holding up projects. So just to understand the process, for every time they do a job, they don't have to come back for it says approval of a legislative committee. That wouldn't be the case.
No, they would come back to the Transportation Committee and Environment Committee with this plan in place that would be implemented with their projects going forward. However, I do believe that they feel that this added step will feedback.
Now batting.
Will cause a delay in the projects. I don't need to speak for them, but I'm assuming that's where they're going with this. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that.
Okay. Anyone in the room in 2B with a question? I know Representative Harrison.
So when I read this, it says, excuse me, to revise as necessary. Have we any language in here that tells us how often they're going to revise it and or defines necessary?
Once they go through their first iteration of the plan that they would submit to this committee, and the Transportation Committee that we would both need to approve, if something changes down the road that they feel needs to be reflected in what has already been approved, the DOT would come back to us and say, hey, this portion of the plan is not functioning as it should. We need to tweak it.
So thank you for that explanation, but it appears to me that we leave some of the onus on DOT to make that determination.
Yes, because they're the boots on the ground. So ideally, we would come up with a better formula for when they feel the need to take down the trees. So if that is implemented by both committees and in the future is determined that it could be too onerous, it could be not onerous enough, the DOT would come back to us, since they are the boots on the ground, and say, this is working or it's not working.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Okay. Representative Dubitsky.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Does this oversight, does this contemplate our oversight being done during the legislative session or outside of the legislative session?
I see this plan being brought to both committees, Transportation and Environment, by January of the next session, and then we would have our say on whether we approve or disapprove the plan.
Okay, thank you.
Representative Baumgartner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a brief question. I know our committee has worked on a similar bill, as you mentioned. Does the bill do anything in terms of permitting DOT to still remove trees that would be invasive? For example, along the 95 corridor where there was some more recent tree clearing, did observe that some of the trees that are emerging are invasive trees, say the Callery pear or the tree of heaven, for example, which can cause quite a bit of hardship to our local or native fauna. So do you know if that bill would still permit DOT to remove or address those invasives?
I'm sure when they come back with their plan, that would be included in their plan and probably not be met with any opposition, since taking out in invasives and also, diseased trees or trees that have met the end of their lifespan is not the problem. But as I said, when we get the emails from our constituents and it's just clear cutting for the sake of making it into the 50-foot buffer line that they continually quote from the federal government, that's where we have to negotiate.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Representative Dillon, followed by Representative Leeper.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Speaking in support of the bill, I could understand that there may be some language that might have to be worked out on the floor, but I think that the concept here could really improve communication. There was a pretty radical removal of trees along the Wilbur Cross from North Haven down to Woodbridge a year ago, and it generated quite a lot of anger and questions about why we were doing tree canopies in one part of the city when we were removing trees elsewhere. So I didn't really have an answer, and I think this at least begins a process where we'll have a coherent policy that we can explain to the public. So I support the bill.
Thank you, Representative Dillon. Representative Leeper, followed by Representative Mashinsky.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I noticed that it specifically allows for DOT to have discretion around public safety, which of course we want, but I have, in my experience, that's the one reason that they cite for the clear cutting. So it doesn't seem like it's going to necessarily result in any change of policy when currently they clear cut, I think it's 30 feet, for public safety, species that don't even grow 30 feet tall. And I know you know as well as I do, we both have 95 cut through our districts with neighborhoods on both sides abutting straight up to the highway. So it's incredibly disruptive. So I just wanted to call out that concern. We don't want to stand in the way of public safety, obviously, but I think we want to think critically about a more targeted approach to how we clear cut. And then also I noticed it mentions replanting, and I'm not familiar of any instances of replanting, but I would just like to highlight in this new plan, a policy for replanting, because we really don't do sound barriers unless it's a federal expansion project. And we are really impacting people's public health when we do this clearing because of the air quality exposure and the decibel noise. And the sound study just confirmed that with no follow-up plan to have any mitigation strategies for noise. So I just wanted to highlight that. I hope there'll be a replanting plan incorporated in this revised vegetation management plan. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative Lieber. And I would agree with you. Hopefully there would be a criteria of public safety. I did read the recent op-ed where public safety was cited as the reason for all of the clear cutting, but to me, it's you can never legislate out of force majeure or act of God. So if I cut the tree down because we don't want Joe Gresco to drive into it when he drives off the road, I'm going to drive into somebody's house, so I just don't understand the logic, but that's for another time. Representative Mashinsky.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. My issue is very similar to Representative Lieber's. Clear cutting in my town has exposed homeowners. There's 4 right now that have no protection whatsoever from Wilbur Cross Parkway after the trees were removed. The houses pre-exist the highway, by the way. And I think public safety is a big loophole in this bill. It's a huge exemption, and we have to be more specific about replacing trees that previously screened homes from noise and pollution, ideally with evergreens, small evergreens, ideally, or small shrubs that give some privacy and air pollution filtering and noise filtering for these homeowners who are suddenly exposed. So I do support the bill, but I think it's weak because it does not include the
Mary, you broke up, so if you wanted to circle back, we will. Representative Reddington Hughes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My question has to do with, we are looking at approving a bill to go forward. And the heart of this bill is hinging on this vegetation management plan that does not have a true definition yet. Am I correct?
There is a current plan in place that that seems to be not doing the job, as our constituents are telling us. But that vegetation management plan is what they will be reintroducing to our committee and transportation, hopefully the start of next session.
But to follow up, if I'm understanding it, that really is the heart of this bill, the management plan, because that would be the biggest change in what we were seeing now.
I would agree.
Thank you.
Seeing no other, Representative Cooley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We brought this version of this up last year, and I still have pretty much the same question. Basically, a lot of the funding for our highways comes from the federal government. So my question is, if we're pushing this through, is it going to impact our ability to get federal dollars for these highway projects? And it would seem to me that if we, maybe a better strategy of dealing with this in the long term would be to coordinate with our congressional delegation on the federal level so that both the state and the federal, in which we have concurrent regulations and oversight of our highway system, are working together so that we ensure that we're still getting our federal funds and we're not getting into any conflicts between what we're doing on the state level and what federal regulations on our highways are. So I have some serious reservations regarding this bill. Is it going to solve the problem, or is it going to make it more problematic in terms of our highways and getting funding for our highways? We do know that we do need the infrastructure funding for them. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative Cooley. I don't believe that the state would be in danger of losing any of the federal funds, but that could be brought up by the DOT. And having recently driven on the Baltimore, Maryland Parkway, where the trees were right up to the side of the road, I don't think they're losing their federal funding for that either. But seeing no other hands raised, Representative Palm.
Mr. Chair, quickly, a couple of thoughts about when this plan is developed. First, I'd like to see it refer to SEPA, the Connecticut Environmental Protection Policy Act, which seems to have been overridden or ignored for years. And secondarily, a certified arborist to classify which trees are actually dangerous. On Route 9, I was very distressed to see the clear cutting up to whatever footage, and then behind which several clearly dead trees remaining. They removed many, many healthy trees, and then there was a row of clearly snaggled dead ones that should come down. So I think an arborist is absolutely vital to this plan, an independent arborist. Thank you.
Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call vote on House Bill 5484. Senator Lopes,
Senator Lopes votes yes.
Representative Gresco, Senator Hockendahl, Representative Palm,
Palm votes yes.
Senator Harding, Representative Callahan,
For the purposes and cognizance of this committee, yes.
Representative Anderson,
Yes.
Senator Anwar, Representative Arteno,
Representative votes yes.
Representative Baumgardner,
Yes.
Representative Chafee, Representative Cooley,
Representative Cooley votes yes.
Representative Dancho,
Yes.
Representative D'Amico,
D'Amico votes yes.
Representative Dillon,
Representative
There we
Dillon votes
go.
yes.
Representative Dubitsky,
Representative Dubitsky votes yes.
Representative Felipe,
Yes.
Senator Gaston, Representative Harrison,
Yes.
Representative Horn,
Horn votes yes.
Representative McGee, Representative Michelle, Representative Mashinsky,
Mashinsky votes yes.
Representative O'Day, Representative Parker, Representative Piscopo,
Piscopo, no.
Representative Rader,
Representative Rader votes yes.
Representative Reddington Hughes,
Reddington Hughes votes yes in the hopes of a definition.
Representative Reyes, Representative Ryan,
Representative Ryan votes yes.
Representative Sanchez, Representative Smith,
Representative Smith votes yes.
Representative Veach,
Rep Veach votes yes.
Representative Leaper.
Representative Leeper votes yes.
I didn't know L came after V. Are you all set?
That's everyone for now.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for today. We will hold the votes open until the start of the first legislative session, which is scheduled for 11 o'clock. Mr. Clerk, you'll stay in the room, yes, or, and online? The clerk will go upstairs into room 3200, and also you can cast your vote online with Mr. Clerk as well. I don't anticipate any other bills coming before our committee. So once 11 o'clock rolls around, the meeting will be adjourned with the start of the first legislative session. Thank you, everyone.
Jim, good morning. What are we doing?
Hey there, Representative.
Good morning, Jim. How are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you. So we just had the one vote on House Bill 5484.
What is that, sir?
It is a bill referred to us from the Transportation Committee, an act concerning tree and vegetation management guidelines by the Department of Transportation.
Okay, yes, do the affirmative, please.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, then you are all good to go.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Representative Dillon?
Yes, Mr. Court, because the following person started to speak when I was in the course of articulating my vote, I wanted to make sure that my yes vote was properly recorded.
I've got your yes vote, yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Vanessa,
Hello.
just the one vote then on 5484.
Oh, I'm turning up my volume so I can hear you. There you go.
Okay. It's just the one vote we got for House Bill 5484, the vegetation management one.
Voting yes.
Voting yes. Fantastic. Well, you're all good to go then.
Thank you. Take care.
You too. Hey, Representative.
Good morning.
Got the one vote today, House Bill 5484, just a J.
Yes.
Yes. Fantastic. All right.
Thank
you're good.
you. Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
You too.
Hey, Representative.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. We just got the one vote today, House Bill 5484, J Act.
Representative Parker votes yes.
Fantastic. Then you're good to go.
Thanks so much. I appreciate you.
All right. Have a good
See ya.
day.
You too.
Hello.
Two votes at once. Other senator, got Representative
How are you?
Sanchez here as well. Just the one vote, House Bill 5484. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Double yeses. Fantastic. All right, then you are all good to go.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day. One. Hey there, Representative.
Just give me one moment.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so it's just the vote on House Bill 5484. JF.
Yes, I'll vote yes. Do I need to be on camera or?
Put on for a second.
Yes, vote yes.
Great.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm home with my son's sick today, so.
That's all right. Well, thanks for voting.
Okay.
Anyways.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Have a good.
You know the plan. What gets sent out is going to be different than what we all.
Hi there, Senator.
Good morning.
Just the one vote. Yeah.
I vote yes.
Vote yes.
Yes. All right.
Today's gonna be.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Yep. Have a good day.